Hey guys, Derek here. Welcome back to the channel. We are back to watch the season finale of The Mandalorian. Now, if you're wondering why this is being posted a couple days late, I couldn't post for a week. My latest reaction to the show, Sex Education, got me a community guidelines strike, so that was super fun. So yeah, I couldn't post anything for a week, so that's why this is coming out on Friday instead of Wednesday, like normal. But what happened last time on The Mandalorian? Our crew went down to Mandalore to kind of spy out the land and see if it's habitable, kinda, test out some threats, see what's going on here. They got ambushed by Moff Gideon and his men, and then Mando got taken prisoner. Paz Vizsla died. He was killed by the Praetorian guards, and it was a whole big thing. And hopefully, this goes positively. There's been a lot of speculation ahead of this episode that someone might die, whether that be Bo-Katan, or it might be Mando, or it might be the armor. Could be anyone that might die. Maybe no one dies. Who knows? All in all, I've been enjoying the season, and I'm very much looking forward to the finale. So, before we jump into this, if you end up enjoying my reaction, please leave a like on the video. If you're new here, or you find yourself coming back often, hit subscribe, ring the bell so you're notified when I upload. And then if you want to see the full uncut version of this reaction, consider supporting me on Patreon. That is linked in the description down below. Sometimes I post these reactions a little bit early on Patreon as well, so if you're interested in that, consider checking it out. But otherwise, let's jump into the season finale of The Mandalorian.
Axe, come in.
My copy.
He is just straight up flying into space.
Use the capital ship as a decoy. We can't beat them in the air. We have to beat them on the ground.
Understood. I'm entering upper atmosphere, but I have my orders.
What if he ran out of fuel? How is Moff Gideon able to communicate off planet, but they can't? Oh, bet? Damn, Din Djarin? Oh, never mind. Oh, wait. Never mind. Did you just break that guy's neck?
No.
Oh,
No.
Grogu, how?
No.
How did you find him? Just spring back to 10.
Okay.
Back to spray at him. It just keeps spraying him.
Bo-Katan, come in.
Received. Where are you?
We're safe. I escaped. I've got the kid. I'm going after Moff Gideon.
Oh, yeah, take that guy's jetpack. Damn. That's a lot of them. He's gonna try his best. And no one's gonna notice him at all. Oh, don't... I was like, don't accidentally drive off a cliff real quick.
That swerves the fleet command. The scouting party has been ambushed by Imperial remnants. They're launching fighters to destroy the fleet. Load the gauntlets and send all available troops down as reinforcements.
Fang fighters going in. And coming back. Oh wait, no, these ones are the TIE fighters coming back. Hopefully he doesn't die.
There's some barrier shields. I'm gonna need you to deactivate them one at a time.
One at a time? He's definitely gonna turn them all off at once.
Deactivate the first shield.
Oh, okay.
Open the shield! Open the shield!
Ooh. Missed that gun.
R5, next shield.
Okay, well. Is that guy hurt because he went through the shield? Oh, see ya.
R5, next shield.
Oh no. Like a little cop.
R5, next shield.
But you're still fighting this guy. Why would he do the next shield? Ooh. Oh, that was a heavy pistol.
R5, good job, buddy.
Yeah, good job, buddy. The cops are back. We have you surrounded. They just bump into him. Oh, one of them got yeeted. Oh no.
Let's not get in. Those are his clones.
That one is awake. Is that
We'll be safe down here.
plant
a while.
life?
We've taken
Yo.
refuge in the surface caves since the purge.
Dude. You can grow stuff.
Cultivated farms.
Okay, rad.
Life persists.
Life finds a way.
I never knew the surface could still sustain plant life.
Lady Kreese, your reinforcements have arrived.
Dang, Skippy. That's a cool shot. Oh, even the armor is jumping. Let's go. I guess she's not a spy. Okay. Okay, Bo-Katan. Let's see how it is. Oh, freaking balls, dude. Holy cannoli. Jeez.
My clones! We're finally going to be perfect.
You smothered them before they could draw their first breath.
Yeah, that's just the way it goes. Yo, if he would have just shot him in the face right there, we would have won. He's like just a mechanized robot man. Of course you bring those guys out at the same time. Ugh. No. No. No.
No. No.
Yes. Hey.
No.
Hey, leave him alone. She is a dominant force. Hey, leave that body alone. Grogu, you need a lightsaber, brother. He's laughing at them. Yes. Time to do work.
Go save your kid.
Let's go. Ah! She's so cool. Oh no. Oh, he's trapped. His small body is not strong enough to lift those parts. Oh, yes. Use the Force, Grogu. Dang, he's doing a little bit of work. Yes. Bum, 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 bum. Just needs a little bit of assistance. Good work, dude. Nice job, Grogu.
You did good, kid.
Nice job. Is that the capital ship? Oh, he's still alive. Gang, gang.
Koska, come in. I'm coming in hot. Clear everyone out. I'm gonna take out the base.
That's easier said than done, Mr. Axe Woves. Oh. Oh my. You just break her hand too?
The dark saber is gone.
Mandalorians are stronger together.
Oh, yeah. Bro, are you gonna get out of that ship anytime soon? Okay. Yes. Tag team. Ugh. Oh, look at that little dirty slide from Grogu. Ooh, and just like father like son. What happened? Oh, what a goat, Grogu. What a goat. That's a lot of fire, though. That's probably so freaking hot. There's a callback to season 1. Little Nug's gonna pass out. Or not. Oh, no. He's still a little tired. Okay, time to leave. Okay, damn, Moff Gideon killed, or maybe a clone of Moff Gideon killed, because he didn't have a mustache. Is this a funeral for Paz Vizsla?
I swear on my name.
Oh no, his son is joining the Creed.
In the words of the
I guess he never
creed
got
shall be forever full.
his thing completed last time. Get in the water, Grogu. Alright, this time don't fall down the hole.
Add him to the song.
He is too young to speak, so he is too young to take the creed.
Hey, you can use a robot.
If his parent gave permission, couldn't he then become a Mandalorian apprentice?
Yes, but his parents are far from here, if they're even alive.
Oh, what? Not anymore. Daddy Din Djarin right here.
Then I will adopt him as my own.
Yeah. Dang, Skippy.
This is the way.
This is the way.
Let it be written in song that Din Djarin is accepting this foundling as his son. You are now Din Grogu.
Din's his last name? Oh, you see the mythosaur down there? You connecting via the Force? He's down there. Yeah, he's down there. He's just chilling though. That's probably very hot too. For Mandalore! For Mandalore! For Mandalore! Look at his little waddle. It's just so funny. What? Dave Filoni! I see you. Think I don't recognize you, Dave?
You don't have the resources to protect the Outer Rim, let alone hunt down Imperial remnants. And I need work.
He'll become a Ranger of the Republic.
Let me think about it.
How will he pay you?
You already did.
Is that so?
All I require is a small advance. What I want in return is that.
The helmet? It's just so funny.
Greetings, citizens. I am IT-11, your new marshal.
Yay! Alright. Wow, they rebuilt him fast. Who did you get to do that? Just plays with a frog. Wow. Okay. Wow, okay. So everything worked out great. I was expecting someone to die, but no. Pretty much everything went perfectly. Honestly, if you wanted to, you could make this like the finale of The Mandalorian. Like, if you wanted to be like, hey, the story of The Mandalorian is done now for like a couple years. At minimum a couple years. Or permanently. You could be like, this is their story. That they just go on being, small time, kind of bounty hunter, more like independent contracting marshal of the New Republic. Like, they just have many adventures. But don't factor in the grand scheme of things. That could be the rest of their story from now on. I think, they don't need to factor in some grand epic scale anymore necessarily. Grogu's kind of made that choice on his own already that he'd rather be with Mando than with Luke and part of this bigger story. So you could definitely be like, hey, this is it. It does open up a ton of questions, like what happens with Mandalore and like the First Order and things like that. I know there's a couple like Mandalorian fighters in the Battle of Exegol. I know that much. So they're still around kind of by that time. So maybe they just build their spot out and just it continues to flourish. I don't know. But yeah, the this worked out great. Mando and Grogu and Bo-Katan just kind of all working together, having each of them having their individual moments of contribution to this final battle. Even like people we thought were gonna turn, they were good too. Like everything was just Gucci. Like Axe Woves, we kind of didn't know if he was gonna be fully good the whole time, and you know, I questioned last time, like, does he even have enough fuel to make it out of the atmosphere? Like, what? How is that gonna work? Apparently he did. You know, maybe that whole fuel thing was just a one episode thing that they're just gonna ignore from now on. But he got all the reinforcement they needed. Him and the armor, another person people thought might be a secret spy. She dropped down. She was a badass. She was clubbing people in midair with her, you know, pure Beskar tools and just working people. Like, they just kind of went ham. No one important died other than Moff Gideon. And we don't even know technically if that was the real Moff Gideon, because I did see a theory last time that, well, it was a joke at first that, like, it was a clone because he didn't have a mustache. But when I was looking at the clones that were in those Bacta tanks, kind of, they didn't have mustaches either. So maybe that means the real Moff Gideon is still out there somewhere with a mustache, and the one that we fought this time, maybe he's a clone. That would be very curious. But yeah, this was a grand old time. I loved seeing Grogu take on the Praetorian guards just on his own, just kind of like jumping around, giggling at them. Like, what a goober. Like, having so much fun. Mando comes to help, and they kind of tag team and take out the Praetorian guards. Like, did work. Mando kind of semi got his own like hallway fight scene. He only had to take out really 2 at a time, but you know, it counts. It was kind of a hallway. I'm gonna give it to him. Interesting thing, Mando never took off his helmet this whole season, so they really just needed Pedro in the booth for this whole thing. But yeah, then they take out the Praetorian guards, and then they fight Moff Gideon, and they're kind of not winning. I mean, he's struggling a little bit until Bo-Katan comes and helps, and then she is fighting him, and she's losing because he's like a mechanized man. Like, he's like fully jacked up. Like, he has an advantage. He's cheating. And he crushes the Darksaber, which is another interesting point going forward. Like, what does that mean for the future of Mandalore and Mandalorians? Because that saber has been present in Star Wars for a long time, right? Like, within the Star Wars universe itself, that's like a 1,000-year-old lightsaber dating back to the first Mandalorian Jedi. That's wild that got crushed, and then that has been like essentially the property of the ruler of Mandalore for centuries, and now it's just crushed. I wonder what that means for Bo-Katan's leadership going forward. I mean, I think they kind of established that her people follow her not because she has the Darksaber, but because she is like a leader, and she has those inherent attributes and qualifications as an individual. But, you know, some of them very much did not come back to her side until she had the Darksaber. Now, the last time they left her because the Darksaber was taken from her, and that kind of signified that she wasn't the true ruler. This time, it wasn't really taken from her. It was just destroyed, and she still won the fight, kind of. So I doubt that they would feel the same way. But oh, that would be so annoying if they were just like, oh yeah, the Darksaber's crushed. Yeah, you're not gonna you're not gonna rule us anymore. Maybe they'll treat it like the shards of Narsil in in the Lord of the Rings, and they'll put it on display, and then whoever decides they want to be the one true ruler of Mandalore later on, they can like reforge the weapon. That would be pretty dope. Maybe Grogu in season 4 or season 5 of The Mandalorian or the movie has to have a lightsaber. I mean, he's a force wielding Jedi essentially. He needs a lightsaber. Maybe instead of building his own outside of everything else, he reforges the Darksaber, and that he has that. That would be pretty cool. Not gonna lie. So then the next person to have that would be the next Mandalorian Jedi. That would be very interesting. But yeah, Mando and Grogu just chilling on Navarro now. They got their own little shack where they can just kick back in between jobs. They can relax, live off the fat of the land. They got it going. They're Gucci. It's just a grand old time for everyone involved. They rebuilt IG-11 in like no time flat. I don't know how they did that. Maybe they went to Lizzo and Jack Black's planet and got whatever species Queel was. And they're just like, hey, will you fix this droid real quick? Who knows? Maybe they did that. Bo-Katan and the other Mandalorians, they're on Mandalore. They restarted the Great Forge. They know that they can grow plants and stuff like on the surface, which is pretty rad. Ragnar is part of the Mandalorians now. Like, he finally finished his creed. Very interesting. Like, that was episode 1. He was in the middle of doing that ceremony, and then the giant turtle alligator thing popped out. He's there. The mythosaur is still hanging out down there, so we were reminded that thing's still alive. Who knows if that'll ever come up again? Yeah, I don't know. I assume like the next kind of part of this era story will be Ahsoka in August. I don't think Visions will touch on this at all, because Visions is definitely like non-canon anime type stuff. I don't think they would even remotely come close to touching on this story. So probably the next continuation of what we're watching now is going to be with Ahsoka season 1. That'll be a lot of fun. And then whenever like Skeleton Crew comes, all those other shows, very excited about all of that. We got Bad Batch season 3, the final season of that show, coming probably next year. And then Andor season 2. So we got a lot of good Star Wars content still to come, and I'm very excited for it. Maybe we will get more Mando outside his helmet next season, because Pedro Pascal isn't off filming The Last of Us. Well, sorry, he'll be filming The Last of Us for about 1.5 episodes. and then he will be free as a bird to do whatever he wants. And so maybe he'll show up next season in all his facial glory, or maybe they won't. I don't know. It's an interesting way to get around it, is just having him do the voice, but I prefer having him actually there. I don't know, that's just me. What else do we have to keep an eye on? Katie O'Brien's character. She's still just around in the New Republic. She's still spying, still doing her thing, which, maybe that leads us to believe that the real Moff Gideon is still out there as well, because she, we didn't follow up on what happened to her, so she's obviously still just chilling somewhere. I guess we'll find out about that. Yeah, I don't know. I thought this season was good. I think season 1 and 2, I definitely prefer more. I don't know. It's weird, because like each season has felt like a lot of meandering. Like there's a lot of like random things, like random adventures and side quests and stuff that happen in each season of The Mandalorian. But I don't know, something, maybe it was the editing in this season, or just, random stuff here and there, but it didn't feel as important or as grand as the previous 2 seasons, if that makes sense, or maybe it didn't feel as cinematic. I don't know. I think I still prefer season 1 and 2. Yeah, I definitely prefer season 1 and 2, but I still enjoyed this season. Like, I still had a lot of fun watching it. You know, it's not Andor. It's not the greatest thing Star Wars has ever made in Andor season 1, but I still had a grand old time watching it. I love fun. I think fun things are fun, and you know, I'm excited. I'm excited to see these characters continue to grow. I think that might be the thing that I disliked the most about this season, though, is that I think Mando and Grogu kind of took a back seat a little bit as characters, and I don't know if that has to do with Pedro Pascal not being on set, or you know, just not. I mean, he might have been on set sometimes, but you know, I feel like in season 1 and 2, they were definitely the main characters, and even like in Book of Boba Fett, they had a lot of growth in that. And then season 3, I think they were kind of the B characters to Bo-Katan's A character throughout the season, and I like that. I like Bo-Katan. I think she's dope. I think as a character in the longer Star Wars pantheon, I think I prefer her to Din Djarin, honestly. But you know, it is what it is. But she very much took a focus this season, and I think it suffered a little bit just because, you know, this particular show has kind of built up Mando and Grogu as the two main characters. So when you take them and kind of slightly put them on the back burner, it doesn't feel as gratifying from a story perspective when you also continue to an extent the story that they had in season 1 and 2, like emotionally and like in terms of the villain we've carried forward from season 1 and 2 in Moff Gideon and things like that, but then we also came and kind of grafted Bo-Katan onto that, and the reclamation of Mandalore onto that, and then that also kind of took priority a little bit at certain points, and so it didn't feel as smooth emotionally or storytelling wise. I don't know. So I think it's definitely a step down from the previous 2 seasons, but it's still really good in my opinion. I still very much enjoy it. You know, it's tough when you watch when you're spoiled with Andor. Like, you get the literally, in my opinion, the best Star Wars has ever been in Andor. It's hard to watch any other Star Wars thing after that and be like, this is peak, because Andor's peak. All in all, though, man, I still had a great time. I thought it was a lot of fun. I even liked the Lizzo and Jack Black appearances in episode 6 or whatever it was. I had a lot of fun with that. I know a lot of people didn't like that because people are just mad that Lizzo was in it because they're dumb. I feel like if it was just Jack Black, people wouldn't have been as mad. But for some reason, there's a certain side of the internet that just hates women, and particularly hates women of color, and women of color who are not the ideal picturesque image of what an attractive woman might conventionally look like. And if you've been around the channel for a while, you know I'm not a fan of that side of Star Wars. You know, I very much don't like those people that come in and they're just like hateful towards people. It just sucks. So it doesn't surprise me that those people hated that episode. It was kind of like a surprising out there episode, I'm not gonna lie, but I enjoyed it. I had fun. And yeah, I don't know. I liked the season. I thought it was good. It wasn't incredible, but it was really good. And I am excited to see more. I'm curious when the next time we'll see Mando and Grogu is. I know Jon Favreau said that he has a script for season 4 written already. Like, he has the general outline and stuff of what season 4 would be. I'm curious to see if they would go that route, or if maybe the next time we see... well, I mean, they said Dave Filoni's movie to like cap this era off is gonna be in like multiple years from now, like 4 years from now, 5 years from now. So you could get another season or 2 of The Mandalorian in by the time that comes out. So I feel like this isn't going to be the last time we see these characters before that movie. But if it is, that would be very, very curious. It would be, I mean, it would be kind of fitting. Like I said, this episode felt slightly as though it could be a series finale for the show. You know, if that was the case, we would probably be seeing a very different Grogu by the time that movie happens. There's also the possibility that Grogu could pop up in Rey's movie, set 15 years after the sequels, and he could help her rebuild the Jedi Order. That would be interesting. We could. He probably wasn't part of Luke's school. If he was, that would be unfortunate. 2 different schools that he's in just burned to the ground. So yeah, I'm not sure where we're gonna see these characters next, but I am looking forward to it when it eventually happens, and I will be there with bells on. But yeah, I think that's all I gotta say this time. Definitely let me know what you guys thought of this episode down in the comments below, and let me know what you thought of this season as a whole down in the comments below. Did you enjoy it? Did you not enjoy it? What were some things you wished you would have saw that didn't happen? What are some things you didn't expect to happen that did? I would love to hear everything you've got to say, as long as you're not being a butthole. Sometimes people are buttholes, and I don't like seeing that in my comments. I try and keep my comments a positive place in general. So yeah, if you have nice things to say about each other or the show, or at least it doesn't have to be a nice thing, as long as it's not a negative thing, like a mean, hateful thing, then put it in the comments, and I would love to hear what you have to say. But other than that, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed my reaction, please leave a like on the video. It means a lot to me, helps my channel grow. If you're new here or you find yourself coming back often, hit subscribe, ring the bell so you're notified when I upload. And then if you want to see the full uncut version of this reaction, consider supporting me on Patreon. That would mean the world as well. But other than that, thank you for watching, and I will catch you guys next time.